Hi, you're watching Money 9. I'm Priyanka Sambhav. Education has become very costly, and parents need to chart out a plan so that their kids don't miss out on quality learning. But at the same time, need not compromise on your retirement plans too. I have certified financial planner Kalpesh Ashar with me, and we're going to talk about this very emotional goal of every parent's life: how to plan their children's higher education. Hi, Kalpesh. I think it's a very emotional goal, as you had rightly put it in my Hindi conversation. But at the same time, how much money should parents have in their pockets when they're planning for their for higher education of their kids?
Yeah, Priyanka, thanks for having me on the show. And like what we discussed, that it is an emotional goal, and many parents, have these notions in their mind that my children should study abroad and they should have this level of higher education, and that is obvious because of the level of competition which we are living in right now. Now, if you have to have that type of a mindset, then you have to be ready to pay a price for that, because studying abroad and having these facilities of providing for your child's higher education should be a very practical point of view. And the simple mantra to it, I would like to say, is that if parents are even dreaming about it for their children, they should start dreaming early about it. And in fact, more than dreaming early, they should action it early. So the mantra is start early, and it's got a heavy price to pay. Now, if in today's high income scenario, if the couple is a dual income earning couple, then good, they can set aside a decent amount of sum. But just to put some figures in perspective, today, a course which is just around 2 years in somewhere like a USA would cost a family around 75 to 80 lakh rupees. Similarly, a 4-year course, which is generally a postgraduate course, would cost you around 1.5 crore. So it's a large sum which you have to pay. And
And
let's not
also,
forget.
Kalpesh, I think just not the price of the course, you have to also factor in the inflation part of it, because today
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
course which you're thinking is probably will cost you, say, 50 lakh, will not cost you so much when your child reaches and goes for that course.
So that is absolutely the nail on the head, Priyanka. That it's the education inflation which you need to consider. So today, if you consider, hypothetically speaking, a 50 lakh rupee target in the present value, probably after 10 years, education inflation grows faster than the normal economic inflation. It grows at 10%. It would cost you 1 crore 30 lakh. And that's a decent sum to accumulate over a 10-year period. And let's not forget here that there are other goals which are as crucial in a family or a couple's life, which is like the retirement plan, retirement planning, as we say. And we have to, supplement it on our own, because you can supplement your child's higher education even through an option of an education loan, but there is no retirement loan for anybody. So let's not mix these two things together. The practical way out is that the couple also should have the child in confidence, understand his interests if he's a mature child, say post 12, 13, 14 years of age, and have him in confidence that what are his real interests. Is the money being accumulated for his higher education really be going to be spent for that? So these are many crucial factors which are to be kept into consideration. Ultimately, it's the family's money. Even if the parents want to put it for the child, and tomorrow the child has a different interest, which might not fortunately have so much of an expense, I would say, then the couple
Yeah.
can keep it for
Because
themselves.
now children are just not becoming doctor and engineer, they're also becoming gamer, and so many
Absolutely.
other avenues are there. But tell me,
Absolutely.
what should be the step one, step two, step three? What kind of investment a parent should look at when they're planning for their children's education?
So step one, I already mentioned, is start early. Now, if you have a decent amount of time frame in your hand, say for example, anything between 10 to 12 years, then I think without blinking an eyelid, get an advisor's help and decide the best form of equity, in your portfolio. So if you are a person who yourself, you can research, have knowledge about direct equity, you can buy some good stocks for the long term and stick with it. I think direct equity can be a part of that. Second, the tried and tested and most easy way to approach this is through the equity based mutual funds. You can create a mutual fund portfolio for this goal, allocate some money through the large flexi cap and the mid cap things, mid cap funds, I would say, and stick to them for the next 8 to 9 years. And the third aspect important one is once you're approaching that goal. So if your child has to go and study at the end of 10 years, from 8 to 9 years, start gradually removing some money from equity to debt and make it secure. So that way you won't have that type of insecurity when that goal comes in front of you and you're caught at the wrong end of the curve if the market falls or something. So do it a couple of years back. Don't be too greedy. You've at least reached 80% of your target or 90% of your target. That's the practical way out.
That's a smart tip. What about, you said you should have a lot of time in your hand. If someone does not have a longer time frame or a longer time in their hand, they've started probably late due to, there could be other expenses which they were taking care of, then what do you suggest them to do?
So simple enough. There are two things to do that. If you don't have a sufficient time frame in your hand, then the realistic goal or realistic target which your education corpus requires, set it in front of you. Look at what is in hand in your net worth right now. Which are the assets which can be diverted towards that particular education goal, and if it can be met. Now, if you have a limit time frame, I'm talking anything below 5 years to reach that target, really equity is not the way to go about it. So your focus on products, there should be fixed income. You can create a basket of fixed income products, putting some money in debt mutual funds, some in AAA rated corporate bond funds, some bank FDs, and hope that you would reach that target, because you've set yourself a very less time frame. So be realistic about your practical goal. If you don't have time in your hand, then whatever is in your hand, divert that amount towards the education goal, of course not compromising on the retirement goal, and gradually let it grow, because equity would be very dangerous for anything below 5 years.
Okay, so time is the real money and real hero here. And obviously, you will be the real hero if you could, divide both of them, as in your retirement and the financial planning. They are the two different buckets and you should plan them accordingly. Kalpesh, am I right? And thank you so much for being with Money 9, Kalpesh.
Thank you, Priyanka, and you're absolutely right about differentiating the two goals.
Absolutely. So that was Kalpesh with us, telling us if you are planning to send your children abroad, and not even abroad, you want them to study in India only, then also you should have a definitive plan, and you have to achieve those by financially planning it out nicely. So thank you so much for watching us.